Hey guys, it's Todd from Like-Minded Lunatics bringing you another drink, play, swear. It's all we do around here. It's all Skynet programmed us to do around here. We're glad you're with us. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button. Mark's the tech whiz. He's got a little button down there for you to press if you haven't hit subscribe yet. We talk to folks all the time, commenters and other people who say they're watching the things, they loving the channel, but they don't make that commitment to subscribe. Please do so. It won't cost you nothing, and it helps us understand how big this family of like-minded lunatics is getting. So please do that. And while you're here on Drink, Play, Swear, checking out some of this content, you should also know that there's a ton of other good stuff out there. In fact, I think the best of it is the Friday night videos done by my buddy and good friend, my writing partner, Mark Gifford. You can check out the Friday night videos right there. It's the crown jewel, as I've said before, of the like-minded lunatics tiara. So check that out. But what are we doing here at Drink, Play, Swear? Well, what we like to do is play a game, usually a classic one, pair it with a beverage, and I tell you a story. A mostly true story. You know, especially the old ones. You kind of forget which ones were overblown a little bit at parties for entertainment value. But I do my best here to be honest with them. And you can already see what we're doing here as far as the game goes. We're playing Super C. Let me get that game audio going here. We're going with Super C. And Super C is a great game. I owned it as a kid. It's the sequel to Contra. I already played Contra on the channel. If you're like, nay, I prefer Contra, good for you. We got Contra for you up there. Check out some Contra action. As a kid, I did not have it. Only played it at friends' houses, but I did have Super C. I have Super C. Love Super C. My favorite game in the series, including the Super Nintendo and Genesis versions. Great game. And I'm pairing that today with another great. This is a great bourbon. This is a Jim Beam and Coke. Jim Beam and Coke. Grab yourself something. Let's have a good time. Don't care if it's alcoholic or not. You do you, okay? You do you. It's 2021. Let's have some fun. All right. So, we're going to get into some Super C. Now, the Konami code is on this, but it's a different Konami code and with fewer lives because for some reason Nintendo of North America decided that they didn't want to give us the full Konami code. I think Japan got it. And I already messed it up. We're gonna start over. I need it. I'm sorry. What do you want to do? Watch me do the first level over and over? You don't. Trust me. You don't. So this is Super C. There you go. With the 10 lives, not the 30. Look at that beautiful skyline for an NES game. Beautiful skyline. Beautiful game. Fun gameplay. Great game. We'll get into this game here, and I will start telling you my story here. A story from my high school years. I've told a couple of high school stories before, but not as many. And I like to look back on those times every once in a while. If you're like me, it's only every once in a while, right? Well, I was a pretty good student as a little kid, and then later figured out how to be a good student again in college and that stuff. But man, high school was rough. I don't know about you, man. Some people had their heyday in high school, and all they do is tell stories about high school because it was just the best time of their life. I mean, great for you. I was not having a great time. You know, it was a rebellious time, and I'm looking at probably thinking about like 1996 here. I was a freshman. Oh, I really want the spread. I got the spread, now I gotta stay alive. You see this gun? It's just the best gun. You see, like, my blood pressure spikes, and it keeps me wanting to not lose my lives here because the spread is a great weapon. 96, I was a freshman. I was getting rebellious. Didn't want to be told what to do. And boy, you get older, you get my age. I'm 39. I'll be 40 here soon. People don't really tell you what to do as often anymore, once you get a little older, and if you have a job where you have a lot of autonomy. But man, I'm telling you, those teenage years, that's where everybody wants to tell you what to do. And they want to tell you exactly what you're supposed to be doing next. And I didn't care for that. So I had a lot to say. And I also was starting to struggle in school for the first time. I had trouble with math at that age. Look at this, boss. I'm telling you, the spread. Come on. Started struggling in school. Math. And then when when science started incorporating math, I had trouble with science. I'd always liked science. I didn't even mind dissecting the pig and stuff. Some people had an issue with that. I mean, they were cute. It was a cute pig, for those of you who did the pig. So, what were we doing in high school because we didn't want to go and we didn't like it? We were scheming, you see. We were trying to get away with not going. So, what did we do? Well, attendance was the first issue you had to think about. The state, your teachers took attendance. That was reported to the state. And the school had a lot of pressure to have good attendance records. So they were really serious about that stuff. And your attendance was taken. See, I died, so now I'm going to have the dinky gun. Why would you send an epic commando like this shirtless with just a pea shooter? Come on! You know? How many guys do you expect him to take out? This game is fun in 2-player, isn't it? This is maybe better in 2-player. But anyway, so attendance. Well, we went to second period most times because, it's the beginning of the day and you don't have a driver's license yet. My mom was dropping me off at school, so I went. But after second period, you start dreaming up, how you were going to get off campus and when you were going to leave. The only other official attendance taken that day was in 7th period, which was the end of the day. Well, okay, so that was the big thing to figure out was, because the difference between 2nd period and 7th period was immense. It was the whole day. So if we could figure out how not to be punished for missing 7th, then we had a chance at a whole day of hanging out, listening to Metallica, eating Hot Pockets, and and playing games like this. Although we were already playing the next generation of games, but something similar. Oh man, he's lighting me up. But you see how I'm hiding back here? You're gonna say, Todd, you're a coward. I never pretended to be anything else. If there's a way to do it in the game that makes it so that's easier, wouldn't you do it? That just seems not smart to not do it. No, I know it's there. I choose to not do that. Call it honor. I call it not smart. So anyway, always wisdom on the channel. Always lots of wisdom. So what did we do? Well, we recruited a buddy of ours who was a student attendance office worker, you see. And he wasn't directly in our friend group. He was sort of peripheral. He was a go-between guy. Every social group in high school had a couple of go-between people, and that was people that kind of everyone liked, even if they didn't fit in the social circle, and that could go between groups and have commerce? I don't know, whatever it was. But the group I'm talking about here, the go-betweens, I was kind of a heavy metal kid, rock and roll kid, and this kid was a kicker, we called him. And if you're not from around these parts, what we mean by that is somebody in Texas who likes country music, wears cowboy hats, wears cowboy boots, and usually at school it'd be like a t-shirt with that, but and sometimes even shorts. But he was a go-between, this dude that we knew, and he worked the attendance office. And so if you found a way to get him a carton of smokes, he was gonna lose your attendance form for you, because how it worked was, this is the 90s, okay? So they're not, the teachers are not filling out attendance on computers. They're filling out a little piece of paper, tearing off the perforated edges, and they're taking it down, they're taking it out of the classroom, and they're clipping it to a board, and then a student worker is picking them up. Well, the student worker would take the forms down to the office, and then the office would sift through what they had. See, they just looked at what they had, and they marked who was gone. So if it mysteriously disappeared, wound up in the garbage, they never knew. So this buddy kept us out of trouble, losing those, and then we could do whatever we wanted. Well, that sounded like great fun, and it bought you weeks of good times. But what happens? See, teenage brain, kid brain, doesn't realize that all this is coming back. The party is going to end someday. So what happens is eventually you start not doing well. You're not there for the test. You're not performing well at all. And so you get the bad report card. And the bad report card is really what I wanted to get to today as kind of the primary part of the story is once you got a bad report card, and me and my buddies always in high school always had them, boy, you're in trouble big time and constantly getting grounded, right? Oh man, grounded. And what a way to describe that. Not flying free, not feeling good about the world. What an awful boss coming up here. I'm going to pause it here and have a sip and a talk with you. This is an aggravating boss, so let me get in my happy place here with you. So you got the bad report card, and you were grounded. Now, depending on the strictness of your family, it was different. I got a week or 2 weeks. Some of my friends got as much as a month, but you didn't see each other after school a lot. After grades came out, if you were misbehaving in such a way. So you were in trouble, and it meant you didn't expect to hang out with your friends at all. Well, after one such occasion, where all of us sent bad report cards home and got in trouble, I'm sitting in the cafeteria at school with my buddy. And I've mentioned this friend before. I called him Frank in previous videos. You can check that video out there. It's a Halloween video where I get a stick poked in my eye, like stuck in my eye, and I had to go to the emergency room. That's viewable for the world. Frank, not his real name, but protecting his identity because I didn't get permission from him beforehand. Frank is sitting there hanging out. We're at lunch, and he's talking about what he's going to do that night, and they're going to go to this new pool hall and check it out. I'm instantly jealous. You going to the pool hall? Yeah, man, it's going to be great. All I'm thinking is, man, they're going to be sitting around listening to Typo Negative with leather jackets on, playing 9-ball, and here I am at home probably playing Contra. So I said, what are you talking about, dude? You're not grounded? Report cards just came out. Did you not show them your report card yet? Because, again, this is the 90s. Report cards were paper that they trusted you to take home. He said, no, I'm not grounded, man. And he kept trying to tell his story and talk to the other guys. I said, what do you mean you're not grounded? Your mom is like the meanest mom, He's like, dude, I'm not grounded. Let's talk about it later, kind of thing. I'm like, okay, sorry. So they make plans, all of them without me somehow, make plans to go shoot pool, listen to Danzig, and at this under 21 bar. Look at this guy. I really dislike this. He's a RoboCop sort of knockoff. Okay, I really like the Contra games, but do you ever notice they're just ripping off of everything? This is Rambo. This is Aliens. This is all kinds of games. Ooh, this part I really dislike. The falling ground and everything. You never know which ones are going to go down. I've played this game 7 million times, and I'm a little nervous about which ones I'm hitting. Okay. Spread. Got the spread, so now I'm happy. So, my buddy, after the lunch incident, the cafeteria incident, takes me aside and says, "Hey, man," he says, "Hey, man, I'm gonna meet you in the library tomorrow at lunchtime. Don't go to the usual spot. Go to the library. I don't want to talk to you about something." So, you see how the ground's falling? It's just shaking. This is horrific. So I meet him the next day. We outside the library. We go in the library together. Ooh, check this out. And now, see, if I had the spread here, this would be an easy boss, but I probably will not survive this. I mean, how many of these guys are coming at me here? I'm going to do my best. I'm going to play it real. See that? Now I got a couple lives left. So, I'm not even going to try with the story. I'm going to try to survive this. Let's do it. Oh, all for naught. All for naught, gentlemen. We're going to have to do this on a continue, but why don't I have a pause break and give you a little more of this, because you sat through me playing a boss just terribly. So we meet at the library. He takes me... Well, first of all, we get to the library, and Frank was he was a tough guy. He got into a few fights, and was sort of like in a minor amount of trouble at any given moment. But he also had this kind of charming quality to him where he could get people to really like him pretty easily, and the librarians loved him. So this group of 3 ladies, probably in their 40s, just anytime he came in, they perked up and they wanted to talk to him. And so we walk in, and he kind of charming them a little bit, talking, oh, how are your kids doing? All their kids were grown. Oh, that's wonderful. Are they coming for Thanksgiving? Whatever the thing is that he's saying. Then he takes me to the stacks. We go to the back of the library, and we get back there, and he starts talking about what's in his book bag, backpack, whatever you want to call it. He opens it up, and inside he's got this little pencil case, okay? He opens up this pencil case, and it's a little kit that he's made. It's a glue stick. It's a little knife. And it's a bundle of old report cards. He says, I'm going to show you how to do this, but don't tell anybody, and don't get in trouble, because if I need this, okay? If this is ruined for me, this is a problem. Yeah, man, I'm doing the... Yeah, man. Whatever gets me to the pool hall tonight. So he shows me his new report card, and he says, all right, here you go. You got your report card. You got this number you don't like, right? You cut out with this little... His knife was like a little X-Acto blade. Cut out the little number. And tiny, about the size of your... not just your pinky nail, your pinky toenail, maybe. And you get a little glue on the glue stick there, and you just stick it right on top. And he gives me this face like, done. And I'm like, this is the genius, like forgery. You can see the paper sitting on top. He goes, no, that's not it. Just make sure you get it good, clean cut, and that it looks straight. Now, watch this. So we go back up to the librarians. See, there was a reason why he was being so nice to them. We get back up to the librarians, and he asks them to photocopy his report card. And he says, he makes this bold statement that he sends it to his grandma, and that his grandma gives him $5 for every A and $4 for every B. And I'm over here going, dude, you don't even have a grandma. And he's like, shut up, dude. They don't know that. I'm like, oh, yeah. So they take the report card, and without looking at it, they photocopy it. And we had these long strips of paper, a funny size, with a little dot matrix paper on the ends that you would tear off, carbon copy kind of style. And the machine there would photocopy the correct size, so it was right. It looked right. And they photocopied it for him every time. And he would take that home. I was like, wow, man, far out. So, I did this. The thing was, he was smarter than I was, because he would do it, and he would just correct it just a little. If he got like a 68, he would give himself a 70, and then he would mark somewhere in a little book that he had 2 points to make up for later. Because of course, to pass a class, you have to pass it. It's an averages kind of issue, and I was just giving myself whatever looked good. So. That just, it made for more fun, and it made for more fun nights. But guess what? Just like the attendance issue, that we solved, quote, solved. The report card issue didn't solve it because, right? You're still not getting through the coursework. You're still not learning the stuff, and you're not going to get through school. Eventually, my mother found my kit, you see. This was after almost a full year of doing it. I have to admit, look at this guy. Almost a full year, you see. And then she was very kindly trying to pack up my backpack for a sleepaway camp. You know, I was going to go away for camp, and she was going to pack my bag for me. And she opens up my backpack and finds the kit. I had a kit just like Trinket had, with the glue stick and the X-Acto knife and the old report cards. Look at this. I love this, how in Contra and in Super C, your hero can actually swim. How many games have you played where, you know, you have this enormous hero who can kill literally thousands of villains in, you know, in these dangerous circumstances, and but he touches water and he's dead. Not just, you know, drowns because there's a villain under there. Touches water, you know. The guys in this game can actually touch water, so that's nice. She finds the kit, and she didn't just find it. She laid it out on the bed. Oh boy, she did. She laid it on the bed for me to discover. Here's this guy again. She laid it on the bed for me to discover. And I did. It was lined up like a crime scene, you know, like a detective had done it. Oh boy. You can tell I'm no good at this guy, right? I feel bad for you that you have to see me play this guy twice. But I'm gonna beat him, and then I'm gonna wrap up here. But you know, that party was over, and you know, the kid brain, the teenage brain, you really can tell that it's not fully developed because it doesn't understand consequences, and I just didn't. And so I was in an enormous amount of trouble, and I had an enormous amount of work to catch up on. You know, the long story short of it all is that yes, I did graduate on time with my friends, and yes, I did go to college, and I did eventually learn to love school again. I use love with like a capital L. I mean, a lowercase l, not a capital L. But I went on to college, went on to grad school, and ended up actually choosing to be in a classroom for my job as a life vocation, if you want to call it that. So things did change. There are many events that happened between me finally getting it together in high school and being here with you guys playing Super C. So many more stories to come, and I hope you'll stay with us here on Like-Minded Lunatics. Again, hit that subscribe button. In between now and the next time I talk to you, thanks for joining me for Super C and for a wacky trip down memory lane. And here we go. I'm Todd. See ya.